Hare Krishna devotees. So, okay, next part of our program is Sunday Feast lecture. Today's class will be given by Her Grace Atma Maya Mataji. She is very familiar to our congregation. For our purification, for the devotees' pleasure, we speak a few words about Mataji. Mataji is actively participating in many temple services. She is leading South Indian cooking team. Also, Mataji does lecture transcription service. She is a kind Vaishnava. With that, we will welcome Mataji by loudly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra once. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for the kind introduction. Hope you have all got enough rest from the Janmashtami celebrations. So today I'm going to start Bhagavad Gita chapter 5, which is action, karma yoga, action in Krishna consciousness, and the verse is number 10. So before going to the verse, I would like to offer my respectful obeisances to my Guru Maharaj, His Grace Romaba Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada and Guru Parambara, and to all my Shiksha Gurus. Thank you, Satsar Prabhu, Jaiswada Maharaji, for giving me the opportunity. Then let's go with Radha Madhava prayer. I request Radha Damodar to sing the Radha Damodar Jai Madhava prayer. Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallava Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you so much. So I'll start with the prayers. Om Ajnana Timurandasya Nananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Urmilitam Ena Tasme Sri Guruve Namaha Vandeham Sri Gurum Sri Yudapada Kamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rubam Sagrajadam Sahagana Raghunatvidam Tam Sajivam Satvedam Savadudam Parijana Sahidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishagam Vidam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bindu Jagatpade Gobesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namastude Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatatarupsha Kripa Sindhu Evacha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Idi Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prajarine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. So before going to the verse, I would like to recite Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So the verse is verse number 5:10, like Brahmani Adaya Karmani Sangam Tektva Karotiha Lipyadena Se Papena Patma Patram Vivambasha. Brahmani Adaya Karmani Sangam Tekta Karotiha Lipyadena Sa Papena Patma Patram Vivambasha. Brahmani Adaya Karmani Sangam Tektva Karotiha Lipyadena Sa Papena Patma Patram Vivambasha. So anybody would like to recite the verse? Okay. Anybody would like to?
Brahmani Adaya कर्माणि सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा करोति या लिप्यते नास पापेन भस्मपत्रं इमं वश.
ब्रह्माणि अदाय कर्माणि सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा करोति या लिप्यते नासे पापेन पद्मपत्रम् इवं वशा.
Any Prabhus? Kamal Naina Prabhu.
ब्रह्माणि आदय कर्माणि संगम त्यक्त्वा करोति या लिप्यते नासा पापेन भस्मपत्रम् इवं वशा.
ब्रह्माण्यादाय कर्माणि संगम त्यक्त्वा करोति या लिप्यते नास पापेन पद्मपत्रम् इवं वशा.
So the translation is, one who performs his duty without attachment, surrendering the results unto the Supreme God, is not affected by sinful action as a lotus leaf is untouched by water. Jai Srila Prabhupada. The synonyms are Brahmani means unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Adaya resigning, Karmani all works, Sangam attachment, Tyaktva giving up, Karoti performs, Ya who, Lipyade is affected, Na never, Sa he, Papena by sin, Padma Patram a lotus leaf, Eva like, Ambhasa by the water. So, Purpura, would you like to read or shall I read? Want to read? Okay.
My voice is fine. Purport, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Here, Brahmani means in Krishna consciousness. The material world is a sum total manifestation of the three modes of material nature, technically called the Pradhana. The Vedic hymns Sarvam He Etad Brahma Mandukya Upanishad 2. Tasmad Etad Brahma Nama Rupa Annam Cha Jayate. Mundaka Upanishad 1.1.9. And in the Bhagavad Gita 14.3, Mama Yonir Mahad Brahma indicate that everything in the material world is a manifestation of Brahman. And although the effects are differently manifested, they are non-different from the cause. In the Upanishad, it is said that everything is related to the Supreme Brahman or Krishna, and thus everything belongs to him only. One who knows perfectly well that everything belongs to Krishna, that he is the proprietor of everything, and that therefore everything is engaged in the service of the Lord, naturally has nothing to do with the results of his activities, whether virtuous or sinful. Even one's material body, being a gift of the Lord for carrying out a particular type of action, can be engaged in Krishna consciousness. It is then beyond contamination by sinful reactions, exactly as the lotus feet, though remaining in the water, is not wet. The Lord also says in the Gita 3.30, Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya. Resign all works unto me. Krishna, that means. The conclusion is that a person without Krishna consciousness acts according to the concept of the material body and senses. But a person in Krishna consciousness acts according to the knowledge that the body is the proprietor of Krishna and should therefore be engaged in the service of Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So, I can continue. A brief introduction of this fifth chapter is, so in the beginning of the chapter, Arjuna is asking Krishna, Oh Krishna, first of all, you asked me to renounce work And then again, you recommend work with devotion. So now, will you kindly tell me definitely which of the two is more beneficial? So Krishna is telling Arjuna, devotional service is better because it is easy, it is transcendental, and it is free from all reactions, whether it is positive or negative. Like it frees from all reactions. So and only devotional service can lead one to the realizing the Lord. So in the Brahma Samhita, it is said that Lord is always visible to devotees whose eyes have been anointed with a tinge of devotional service. So we have to take information about transcendental form of the Lord from person who have realized the God. So who is that person? These are our Shiksha Gurus, our spiritual master, and our Diksha Gurus. And so these people, they have realized God, so they are able to guide us to the path of Krishna consciousness. And this mundane Okay. So in the material world also, we do not always see things with our own eyes, right? Sometimes we can hear when we read the newspapers and all, we know in Russia this is happening, that is happening. But we believe what is in there. We are not going to Russia, we are not going to anywhere, but we believe what is in there. So same way, when our Shishya Gurus and Diksha Gurus let us know, this is a path, how to lead our life, to make our life perfect, and to reach the God. So we have to follow that. So with blind faith, faith is a key factor here. So if we don't, without faith, what will we do? We will be skeptical, right? Like we'll think, will it work? We'll be doubting everything. But that should not be in the spiritual path. So Krishna then talks about how sense gratification can cause bondage, and because of this, one can transmigrate from two different types of bodies. So we have to be careful to control our senses. Then he talks about the renunciation is complete when we know that everything belongs to the Lord, and we are there to just serve Him. So that is the realization we should have it. So then further in the chapter, the Krishna talks about the characteristics of a Krishna conscious person. So he says that a Krishna conscious person is he feels neither hatred nor he has a desire for the result of his action. So whatever comes, he offers to the Lord. For him, the primary goal is how I can please Krishna. That is the only goal. He never cares for his own sense gratification. And in this particular verse, 5:10, Krishna says how to work without incurring any sinful reactions. So is it possible in this world? For every good action and bad action, we have some result, right? So he says, do your activities like offering to me, like the Supreme Brahman, which is Krishna. And give up the attachment to the fruit of your action to Krishna and be completely detached. But what happens in the material world, when we do some actions, we always need the result. Okay, I need name, I need fame, I need recognition. We always expect that. So we cannot say, everything, Krishna is giving me that the power to do the work. We don't never think that. So when we do some action, we think, I am the doer. So I need to get the result. So I am everything. So we focus only in this I part. So we are not thinking outside that box. So then here Krishna says, see, Arjuna want to, once in the battlefield, his prescribed duty was a Kshatriya, but he want to abandon his duty and he want to go to the begging bowl and accept sannyasa. But Krishna is telling him, you do your duty, but give up the attachment to the result. But in the material world, we have to do our duty, but attachment to the result, we cannot do that. And same time, offering to the result of Krishna, forget about it, because we need to get the result. That is only our aim. So that won't work here, because if we do like that, it will bind us to this world. So we have to come out of these modes, and our mind should be always focused on Krishna. So an example when we study in the Vedic University, like we're learning about Isha Upanishad. So Isha Upanishad, there's a verse called Isha Vashyam Idam Sarvam Et Kinja Jagatyam Jagat Tena Tyaktena Bunjita Ma Grandaha Kasyasve Dhanam. It says everything animate, inanimate that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. So one should therefore accept only those things necessary for himself, which are set aside as his quota, and one should not accept other things, knowing well to whom they belong. So here everything belongs to Krishna, even our body belongs to Krishna. He is the one who gave us his body. He is the one who is providing us everything. Like if we need to drink water, we know hydrogen oxygen form combination gives water. So when we feel thirsty, do we manufacture our own water? We don't do, right? We just drink the water if it's available. We breathe the air. We have everything provided. If we have built the house, we have all the necessary things like materials available in the nature. So we can use that to build a house. So everything is dependent upon Krishna. But still, we always forget that. So for example, like a handicapped person, like can he grow his own limbs? He cannot do that. So we know that there's some superior factor above us who's guiding us for everywhere. But every time we'll forget that particular part. So we should be grateful to Krishna. So he has given the body everything to maintain the purpose. So our body is meant to serve Krishna. That is our goal. So we can see there are millions of species in this world, but only the human being has a value to that memory to realize the God. So if we see the human body is made up of the skin, and beneath that is what is the flesh, bones, like blood, everything. But this is the only means which we can realize the God and go back to Him. Other species, like if we tell them to don't have that intelligence to realize God, but only Krishna has given us the intelligence to realize Him. So our body is meant to serve Krishna. And in this verse, the Prabhupada talks about the attachment and detachment. So what is attachment? So as we go through our journey of life, we need someone to talk to us, to share our joys, share our sorrows, then be with us in ups and downs. So we need someone, be it a friend or family. So we need someone to be with us always. We cannot live without people around us. So what happens when we have too much attachment? So we automatically attach to our, for example, a husband is attached to a wife, a child is attached to his mother. Like some relationship is there. We badly need them. We cannot live without them. That will be our this thing, right? We cannot live without them. So what happens when we have that attachment to them? Because we'll think about them more. So did they eat? Did they drink? So I am attached to my son. So when he's not with me now, he's doing his college. So what happened? Like I think about him sometimes. Oh, did he eat? Did he drink? Where is he? Is he doing his studies properly? Like my mind is always there. Then I said, no, I had to bring back. Because our family is meant, okay, Krishna has given me this family, but my family is meant to serve the Lord. So we had to be attached to the family, but in the way that we had to use them for the service of Krishna. We are just the caretakers of our child. So our duty is to guide them so that they do the worldly duties properly. Same time, there will be Krishna consciousness, and they cultivate the Krishna activities, and they go back to Krishna in the end of their life. So we won't be there, but what are the values we inculcate to the kids and around us, that will be always there for them. Prabhupada also says that attachment does not mean you should not take care of the body. You should take care of the body. It's not that we should not take care of the body we should take care of the body in the way that it can be utilized for the service of Krishna. But sometimes what happens, people are attached to so many things in this world. Some are attached to their body. They want to make their body very pretty. So they do all those things. So we can see a lot of advertisements telling us like, oh, the skin whitening thing, then how to reduce weight, how to how to increase your weight, how to look glamour, go to the gym. That is so much advertisements. Then also we can see like so we are all thinking about the body, and some people, they attach to their pets. They do everything to make the pet happy. So always they're not directing their mind attention towards Krishna. They're deviating from the Krishna and focusing to the things which are not useful for them in the long run. So we should be watched out. Okay, what we attach to. We always keep a like constant check of our mind, okay, what we are attached to. So we have to reduce that attachment and focus on a higher purpose, a higher goal, so that we can reach that purpose. Our goal is to reach Krishna so that we never come back to this material world. So that should be our aim. And so detachment, on the other hand, means absence of such sensual attachment. That means you are becoming Krishna consciousness. So you do all activities for the pleasure of the Lord. And so when you be Krishna consciousness, what happens? Whether we're not suffering from dualities, but the happiness, the distress comes, we know like, okay, this is Krishna's arrangement. So he gives everything to Krishna, and he will become focused only on his devotional path. So nothing else. Therefore, he is transcendental to the all attachment and detachment. So one thing when I learned in life is like we need our family members. So like then we need our material belongings. So to live in this world, we need a house. Sometimes we need a car or to drive to temple or do necessity. We need a car. So we need little things. We need clothes to wear. We need money to live. But okay, so far we have this is necessary till our last breath. Till that we need these things, but we should not be over-attached. There should be a means for us to live in this world. And also the family, friends, relationship, they are also very important. But these all are related. They will be with us till our last breath, right? So when our body is cremated, are they going to jump to the fire? Okay, this person died, let me go and die with them. No. They'll feel sad, like, okay, this person left the world. But the thing they will remember about the time you spent with them, that is what they will think about them. Like the qualities we accumulate, the values we acquire through our life, and the virtues we install in others' heart. So these will persist even after death. So the people will remember you for all the good actions you do. And so these values are foundation on which we stand the supreme structure of God realization. So we must live in our life virtuously, and this can be done only if we install that faith in the Lord. And we should have that firm faith that Krishna or the Lord is with us in every walk of our life. So that should be our goal. And in the material world, like if we utilized everything for Krishna, the world would have been very peaceful, right? There will be no chaos, war, nothing. Everybody will appreciate each other. Doesn't matter whether your skin is dark brown or light brown, like white, nothing doesn't bother. Everything will realize the soul in each and every person, and they appreciate you. That the barriers won't matter. And always in the material world, there are threefold mysteries, right? The mysteries which arise from the body and mind. Then it is mysteries from other living beings, and arising from the natural catastrophes like flood, all those things. So these are all like, gives us a lot of mental stress. So these are also things which take us away from the Lord. But even these things happen also, still people doesn't realize our material life is temporary, like we should focus on the Lord. So people doesn't realize that. So when my childhood, my grandmother used to say, when the leaf, right, the yellow leaf falls down, the green leaf will start to smile. Okay, but the green leaf doesn't realize that one day I am also will fall down. We don't realize that. So then she used to say, like in Malayalam, there's she will say, "Va-kirya devam vayarandaram." Like he says, the person who tore your mouth will give something for you to eat also, to feed your belly. So you don't have to worry about food. It's already there. Why do you want to, I have to accumulate more things? No, you don't have to do. If the God who created you, He knows how to feed you to the core. So you don't have to worry about that. So, and for example, I used to volunteer for a Christian organization here next to my house. So one time, I saw a lot of cars going. So then I asked that lady, what's happening here? So she said it's like a food distribution. So I asked, what food distribution? Like, a lot of poor people are coming there and asking for food. So then she asked me, would you like to volunteer? So I said, yeah, of course I can do that. So she took me to the room, and she showed me, introduced me to one old lady. So she very old, but she's not able to walk, but she's still come and volunteering there. So she said, okay, Maya will assist you. So I said, what do you help you want? Then I saw a lot of food there. Then so I asked them, where does this come from? So she said, in Walmart, Target, everything, all the, these things have the expiry date, right? The bread, the cookies, the cake, everything has expiry date. So before the expiry date, they bring 1 week before the expiry date, they donate all the stores, they donate to these organizations. So, and they advertise, people who need food, please come. So all the poor people were coming. So and my duty was to arrange. So all the cookies will be in one place, all the bread, we have to sort the bread, and bread is different varieties, sourdough bread. I've never seen bread in my life so much. So all the bread is like this. I was wondering how much is this available like this much? I go to the store, I buy one brand and come up. But so much variety of bread, so much variety of donuts, chocolate one. So I had to sort everything. And then when people come, they will tell me oh, I need this, so I had to give them. So then I need this, so I give them. Then one side, they had lot of clothes. So Walmart, they know this, they're not able to sell the clothes, they put the caption, clearance sale. If that doesn't go, they are put here, they donate them. So I had to go and sort the clothes. So baby's clothes something, the adult's clothes something. So then people come, and some lady was ironing, and so then one day I asked her, can I bring my son here? So she said, yeah, you can bring your son to volunteer. So I brought my son Akhilesh to the volunteering. She was like, Mom, what is this, Mom? You're so shocked. Then I said, okay, you go and help them. So I want him to learn, okay, this is happening outside the world. We have all the luxuries available, but there are poor people who are suffering for food, and they have it's easily available. This is what they had to come and do. So I told them, okay, I won't touch non-veg. I won't become vegetarian. So he said, okay, fine. So the vegetarian and the non-veg food were in separate. So they allowed some volunteers there. So that means we have food here. And so I asked them, why, what happens if there's still a lot. So what happens, what will they do with this food, the remaining one? So they said, okay, we will just grind it and take it to some farmhouse and give it to the cows over there. So that means food is there. Krishna is providing food for everybody, so you don't have to worry for food. But only thing like that, sometimes we want, we are greed, right? We have that greed sense is there. So before when the COVID hit, when I went to Manpasan, the store, I can say I was not getting the cart. I was like, what's happening here? There are people big cart, they were taking all the stuff, even the frozen aisle was empty. So then I called my husband, okay, can you please come here? We are not getting cart. I had only one basket. I only pick up necessary things, but here everything is wiped out. Then finally he came, and so that's why Prabhupada is telling, if you put some grains, the sparrows will pick up what they need. But human beings, they have a tendency to load. Okay, I need more. But they're not happy. So we have to check what we attach to, because attachment can cause also the bondage. And top of that, there are 4 major vices of a Kali Yuga, illicit connection with a woman, animal slaughter, intoxication, and speculative gambling of all sorts. So for animal slaughter is all common. If we say animal also has soul, some people cannot believe it. No, animal doesn't have a soul. They are meant for us to eat. That is that. But they doesn't realize the reaction that comes. And also there are other things the false gurus are there. Okay, talk about Bhagavad Gita, but they doesn't follow it. And also we have the cinemas, sports, the gambling clubs, bad association, smoking, drinking. So all are available in the material world. But sometimes these can divert our mind to think negative. A lot of negativities are there. So for us to be focused, the best option is to be Krishna consciousness and be associated with people who follow the path of Krishna consciousness. So that's what in the verse Prabhupada said, "Na lipide nya sa pena." So doing duties without attachment for the pleasure of a Lord, there is no sin. So Krishna consciousness is the antiseptic method to become free from the contamination of material world. So when the COVID comes, we all wear a mask. Why do we wear a mask? To protect ourselves from the virus. So Krishna consciousness is also that antiseptic method. It's like that a mask which will help us to save us from the pranks of this material world. So, and what happens if we attach to the result? So, Prabhupada says, a sane man who does not want to glide down to the species or demonic life must try to give up these three enemies, which can kill the self to such an extent that there will be no possibility of liberation from this material entanglement. So, these enemies are like the lust, greed, anger. So, these are the three gates leading to the hell. So if we attach to the result, what happens? We want more. We won't stop there. If I get 1 lakh rupees, okay, how can I double? Make it to 2. Then if I get 2, how can I make it to 3? That will be our mentality. But we're not satisfied. If your friend gets buy a house, okay, I have to buy a big house more than him. So we are competing with each other. We are not happy with ourselves. What Krishna gave us, we are not contented or happy with what we have. So then we think that I am the doer, I should get success. And if success is not there, what will happen? We feel sad. Sometimes we lost faith in God. Okay, no, you are biased. We blame the God for everything. And we always forget there's a divine intervention. So when we happens, what happens? We glide down to the lower form of the species. So we had to be extra careful. So what does a real devotee do? So a real devotee is aware that everything belongs to Krishna and is neutral in all conditions. Whether it is good comes, he offers to the Lord. When bad comes, he thinks, okay, this is Lord's blessing. I would have done some mistake in my past birth, and so now the Lord is trying to cleanse me, free me from those sins. That's why He's giving me this trouble. So he always thinks that is positive, negative life is all things that because of Krishna's mercy, this is happening. And so when we do like that, we're training our mind. So we are not bound by anything in the material world. So we'll be fixed in our path to Krishna consciousness. So complete surrender means means a devotee lays down his body, mind, heart, and soul at the lotus feet of the divine. And there's one story I would like to tell here is about the king and the prime minister story. So the king and the prime minister they were going for hunting. And what happened, the king was trying to aim the arrow, somehow it got stuck, this finger got stuck with that string or something, and he got cut. So the minister was telling, okay, this is Lord's mercy. So the king got very mad. Why? I cut my finger and you're telling it's Lord's mercy? So then, the other ministers were very, very jealous of him. So the other ministers tried to poison the king. This minister is like that. See, you cut the finger and he's telling that it's Lord's mercy, you should put him to jail. So the king said, yeah, he got carried away by what they said and he put him to jail. So after a few days, what happened? They went to a hunting expedition again. And so he went, and he appointed a new minister also. So he went with this minister for a hunting expedition, and finally what happened is they were caught by some dacoits. And these were worshipping the Kali, so they used to offer the men and all. So what happened is they captured these two people and then they took to the Kali, and they were going to offer them to the Kali. So before offering, they'll check the entire body of the people, whether they are intact, because we cannot give loose things, what you say, damaged things to the Lord, right? Everything should be perfect. So while they were trying to offer them to the Kali, they found that the king's finger is cut. So the priest said, we cannot offer the king to the goddess because he's imperfect, because he's cut his finger. We cannot offer him. Let's offer the minister. So they offered the minister. So then the king came and came to the old minister and said, these things happened. So I don't know, so he had read the entire story. So this guy said, Lord's mercy. Then he said, Hare, you won't change a word. Every time you're telling Lord's mercy. So then he said, King, if you had not put me in the jail, I would have been with you, right? They would have killed me. So since you put me in the jail, I was saved. So that is the thing. You have to see the hands of Lord everywhere. So that is what a real devotee do. So when we are faced with difficulty, we should not say Lord, why me? You should say, you'll be happy, okay, Krishna has put me in a situation because he had made me to learn something out of it. That should be the motive. And some people have this notion Krishna consciousness means it's practice of the old age. But when we are 30s itself, half the battery is down. We can see eyes are losing power. We cannot, first thing, eyes only we can notice. We cannot see anything. And then all the thyroid issues, all the weight gain, we have a lot of issues. So what happens are we able to focus a lot? No. Then sometimes we have to earn money. We have to save for our kids' future, their college education, that. So once the kids are done, okay, we have to marry them. Then what happens? The grandkids come. So we are always occupied. And in the old age, what happens? We won't remember. We won't have time to remember the Lord. So we just pass away also. And we don't know what will be our next destination. So once we are in the good health, once we are young, so Krishna consciousness practice at a very young age. And also in the Kali Yuga, the duration of life is shortened. It's not because of insufficient food, but because of our irregular habits. So by keeping the regular habit and eating simple food, a man can maintain his health. And we don't need over sense gratification, over independence, nothing of that such. And also the human life is a rare gift. So this is the opportunity for us to go back to Godhead. So that is why we have to utilize for that purpose. And examples of people, I would like to quote example of two people who lived this material world without being affected. So one is Ambarisha Dasa. He is a great grandson of Henry Ford, and he was born in luxury, everything is there for him. But still he was thinking something is missing. What is that? That is the quest of the Lord, to know about the Lord. And he finally took initiation under Srila Prabhupada. And then when everybody was taking sannyasa, he also wanted to take sannyasa. But Prabhupada told him, no, you stay here and be an example to others and show them you can be Krishna consciousness even if you have a profession also, you can be Krishna conscious. You don't have to leave your family, accept sannyasa and all. So that is the example Prabhupada want to teach through him. So we can also be example of that. When we are going to office or something, we can teach our the friends, the colleagues about Krishna. We can give them prasadam. So we can give some, put some Bhagavad Gita in our front of the table, where you work, so that people can realize, okay, what is this? Automatically they ask questions, right? Okay, what is this? Sometimes we can see a mug, right? We have a picture of our family members and also we can put a picture of Krishna. So that will make them connected to the Krishna. So that way we can also preach in one way or the other. The other example is about Peter Butterwash. Peter Butterwash is a tennis player, and and he was very good had a good business practice also. So Peter lived all by lifelong example of determination, humility, patience, forgiveness, and service mode. So he encouraged others to live a life of service. So even he was a materialistic person, but his mind was focused on Krishna, and through him, Prabhupada was trying to teach the world like you can live in a Grihastha life, and you can cultivate the value of all these like humility, patience, forgiveness, and service mode, and help others to become Krishna consciousness. So that is the mode Prabhupada want to inculcate through them. And these two are the examples which I found very useful. So other story about this, our body belongs to Krishna, it's example from scriptures. It's like, it is from Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela. This Sanatana Goswami visits the Lord at the Jagannath Puri. So so nowadays we have transportation is easy, right? We have flight, we have a car, bus, but those days it was not. The people has to walk. So Sanatana Goswami was walking from Madura to Jagannath Puri to see the Lord, and he has to pass through the Jarkat forest. So in that forest, like sometimes we get something to eat, sometimes we don't get something to eat, and there are sometimes water is there, some water is not there. And one day he had to drink some water from the stream, and sometimes it didn't suit him. So what happened is he started to itch, his body started to itch, and the pus was coming. And so then he went to meet the Lord, and he didn't want to go and meet the Lord because he was telling, how can I go and meet the Lord, because my body is full of pus and so it's dirty, I cannot go and touch the Lord. So his aim was he will go there, he touch the Lord's feet, and then that time the Jagannath, the Ratha Yatra was going on. So his aim was he will go and then he will put his body in front of the cart, and he will die. So he will see the Lord and he will pass his body there itself. So he thought that was a mercy. But so then one day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Sanatana Goswami, your decision to commit suicide is a result of the mode of ignorance. Because one cannot get love of Lord simply by committing suicide. So you have already dedicated your life and the body to my service. Therefore, your body does not belong to you. Nor do you have any right to commit suicide. I had to execute many devotional services through your body. So I want you to preach the cult of devotional service and go to Vrindavan and execute the lost holy places. So Lord wanted our use of our body for some higher purpose. So that means our body doesn't belong to us, it belongs to the Lord, and He has the right to use our body according to His wish. That is should be, so we should always remember that. And another thing is, what should be the mood of our service? This is also another story from Lord Chaitanya and Govind Das is another devotee of Lord. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, every time he goes outside to visit his disciples, the temples and all, and by the time he comes home, he will be very tired. So Govind Das Prabhu, what he will do is he'll massage Prabhu's leg. That was his service. So one day what happened is when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was coming, he was so tired, he stepped into the corridor. Usually when somebody lies on the corridor, we don't step over them. It's not, we say it's not good, right? So, but he has to do his duty. He has to massage his, so Prabhu is feet this side, head this side. So he has to do something. His service should not be interrupted. But how will he do? He had to cross over the Lord. That is a sin. So then he said, okay, but I had to do my service. So he put a blanket over the Lord and he crossed over the Lord and he did his service. He massaged the Lord's feet and he sat there. And after some time the Lord awakened and he said, okay, why Govindas, why you are staying here? Did you have not prasadam? He said, no, Lord, I didn't have my prasadam because you were lying there, so I didn't want to go crossing over and have prasadam. So the Lord said, and how did you come this side? So then he said, because my service was more important than my sense gratification. So I didn't want my service to interpret, so I just crossed over you, I did my service, and I was sitting here for you to wake up. So he said, like, you have to have prasadam, right? So he said, no. That is, that if I have prasad, that's only for my sense gratification. So I can incur sin for that, but I don't want my service to interpret. So that should be our mood. Like whatever service, devotional service we get, we should use that for the our mood should be we are servant of Krishna. Our service should not be interrupted, and we should do what best as you can. So Krishna doesn't look for the perfection as such. He looks the intensity of love, the devotion, the feeling we have for him. That is what Krishna looks for him, looks from us. So and the benefits of devotional service. And so when we were studying the Vedic University, so there's a one verse in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, 37 verse. It says that Yate damsi samidho nir basma sat kurute arjuna jnanagni sarva karmani basma sat kurute tada. Translation is, as a blazing fire turns firewood into ashes, O Arjuna, so does the fire of knowledge burns to ashes all the reactions to material activities. So the purport, it says, perfect knowledge of self and super soul and their relationship is combined here into fire. This fire not only burns up all reactions to impious activities, but also the reactions to pious activities, turning them to ashes. There are many stages of reaction. Reaction in the making, reaction fructifying, reaction already achieved, and reaction a priori. So, but knowledge of constitutional position of the living entity burns everything to ashes. So, when one is in complete knowledge, all reactions, both the prior and the posterior, are consumed. So, in the Vedas, it is stated that Ube Uba Vaisa Ete Tarati Amrita Sada Asaduni. One overcomes both the pious and impious reaction of their work. So, this is the promise Krishna is making. Okay, you follow my path. You don't worry about your past reaction or about what the future. I am there to protect you. We don't know what all sins we had done in the past birth, but definitely we know what all sins we have done in this birth, right? So, and some of us, before coming to Krishna consciousness, we are non-vegetarians. So, some people, they are being related smoking, gambling. But once we come to Krishna consciousness, we give up all that things, and we are like turning into a new leaf. Like you're following the Krishna consciousness path. So Krishna, all the past reaction is minimized. It's like it's gone away. It burns. So this is the golden opportunity for us to go back to Godhead. So we have to use the best opportunity. This is the best opportunity because we have to use that. And devotional service is so easy. There are 9 limbs of bhakti. One is like Stravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. So we can adopt any of the process, right? Some people, they are good in like Kirtanam, they can sing for the Lord. And if example they are given is the Parishit example for Stravanam. Parishit Maharaj has like 7 days to live. But within that 7 days, he was listening to the Krishna Katha and he got moksha. And then Prahlad Maharaj was Smaranam. Prahlad Maharaj was his father was so demonic, but still he was constantly thinking about the Lord and he was saved by the Lord. Then there's the Lakshmi Devi for Padasevanam, then Prithvi Maharaj for Archanam, Akrura for Vandanam, Hanuman for Dasyam. So see, Hanuman, when he went to Lenga, he was captured by Ravana and his Ravana, and when they asked him who are you, what Hanuman said was, I'm a humble servant of Lord Ram. But here when we ask, okay, who are you, you will say, I am a manager, I am a CEO, we have all the material definition with us, but actually we are the servants of Krishna. That is our actual identity. So we don't in the practice of bhakti, we need only the firm faith, and we have to practice what our Diksha Gurus, our Diksha Gurus teaching us. Okay, so you should chant, get up the morning chant like Brahma Muhurtam, read Prabhupada books. This works. So your only thing is you have to have that faith. Okay, this will work. This process is going to work, and we don't need a university education, a good looks, and a lot of financial wealth. These are not necessary for advancement from spiritual life. So all the things we need to have that heart, the purity of the heart should be there. We should have faith in the mission, and the devotion to the Lord absolutely necessary. Other thing is the two things which are very important, I feel like Stravanam and Kirtan. Stravanam means like listening to the glories of the Lord. So it includes anything pertaining to divine. Like we can meditate upon the Lord's form, then His qualities, then His miracles, activities, and we can release the words spoken by Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, in Bhagavatam. So we can release, right? So you see, if we read, everybody knows Ramayanam, right? Right from childhood we know Ramayanam. But the more we read Ramayanam, are we getting bored? No. But if we read some kind of novel or something, we get bored, right? After some reading, we said, oh no, we'll read it later. But Ramayana, the more we read, we find some message for us. Like we're not bored about anything there. So we keep engaged ourselves in the service of the Lord. So the listening is therefore the first step in the 9 steps of devotion. This also marks the beginning of a process of a spiritual awakening. So when we listen, what happened? All the words will go into our mind, to the heart. So okay, we will feel like, okay, I ought to know more about Krishna. So how can I get that knowledge? Where can I go? Like whom should I approach? So that listening is a thing which makes us to know more about the Lord. So we should not miss the opportunity. But sometimes what happens when we are listening, like our mind is fully occupied. Like if we have empty bag, we can fill up many things in that bag, right? But if the bag is already full, can we put anything in there? No. So same way, our mind is fully occupied with all the things happening outside the world, like our family, relatives, the job pressure, tension, everything. But it's already full. So we had to, declutter thing, and we had to put positive things. So that's the only, if we hear the Lord's glories, that's possible. Then we should, as I said, like we should rely on the spiritual master. Then the Srila Prabhupada is not there, but can hear the lectures. Prabhupada's books are there. So find time to read those books so that we'll also our path will be straight. We should not be deviated from the path. Then other thing we should, when we listen, what we need is, first thing is attentiveness. We have to be attentive. Like when we are reading the book, our mind should not wander. Then we should that earning. Like, okay, I have to learn more about Krishna. That earning should be there. And so Parishad was so focused that within that 7 days, he got moksham, right? Like, so we had to be that mind focused. Okay, today I'm alive. Tomorrow I don't know what's my state. So we had to see each day is like a blessing from the Lord. So every time we had to think that, and we had to utilize our time wisely. And for another thing, we need the faith. This process will work. For example, when we are traveling by flight, do you call the airlines and tell, okay, who's this pilot who's going to fly the plane? What is his qualification? Okay, how many hours did you fly? We don't do like that, right? We think, okay, this flight will make me to reach the destination. We don't care about we have never seen the pilot as such. We don't know his we don't know his family background. We don't know anything about him. Where did he study? Nothing we don't know. But still, we trust him. Okay, this person will help me to reach my destination. Same way, that faith which we need for our spiritual master. Okay, whatever our spiritual master says, we'll reach there. So then, the devotional service is so easy also. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita chapter 9 verse 26, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachadi tadaham bhakti upahirdam ashnami prayatmana. If one offers to me with devotion a leaf, flower, fruit, or even water, I delightfully partake of that item offered with love by devotion and pure consciousness. So that is what Krishna doesn't say, okay, today you had to cook Indo-Chinese food, or tomorrow you had to cook pasta, Italian menu. No. Krishna is saying, just give me some symbol. Offer me with devotion. Anything like a leaf, it means a tulasi, water is easily available. Just give me that. Just think about me. It's not very particular that you have to give all the riches to him. No. So it's very easy. So why can't we follow this path? Then other reference from Bhagavatam is like the name of Krishna is powerful as Lord Krishna himself, so there's no difference at all. So anyone can take advantage of holy name of Lord Krishna even in the midst of the greatest dangers. The transcendental name of Krishna, even though uttered unconsciously or by force of circumstances, can help on obtain freedom from the hurdle of birth and death. Other example is about a story about Russian devotee, like they were the two Russian devotees. They were in the Srirangam. They were looking for ISKCON temple. So they happened to see one devotee. So then they asked him, like, how did you know about ISKCON, Krishna consciousness, and how did you become Krishna conscious? So that Prabhu was telling, like, he was a butcher. And so daily, how many animals he could be killing, right? And one time what happened, some mercy of the Vaishnava, they were distributing books in that area, and they were distributing the Srila Prabhupada's Science of Self-Realization book. So some devotees got, and some people, they didn't understand English, so they tore the page and they threw it. So, and this Prabhu, he was so tired, he thought, let me take some rest. He was taking some rest, and by chance he saw that one page of Science of Self-Realization. So he took that and he read. Then just one page. So he read, and he went to his fellow butchers and asked them, what, from where did you get this book? So he said, some Asians were distributing books, so I just, we got this. So where can I find them? So he said, you go there. So he went there, he talked to Prabhu. So he was so convinced that he knew that he was doing a sin. And so, see how the transformation happened. And he became a devotee, his wife became a devotee, his friends also became a devotee. And they came to India and they met, that's how the transformation happens. So that's how we have to come out of this attachment and detachment and focus on our spiritual sadhana. That's how we can live in this world, without attachment and detachment, and go back to Krishna. So we would like to stop here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Devotees online and present in the temple hall, if anybody have any questions, please raise your hand. Okay. If no other questions, no questions. Thank you, Atma Maya Mataji, for wonderful lecture and that sloka. Thank you. We are moving on to the next part of our program is Aarti. Please stand up so that we can sing Aarti Kirtan.
We are going to do Aarti now. Yeah. Start, Prabhu.
नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमः विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। जय श्री कृष्ण प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा।
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा।
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare,
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Haraya Namah Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Gopal Govindara Srimadhusudana. Haraya Namah Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Gopal Govindara Srimadhusudana. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare,
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada,
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Nitya Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitya Gaura Hari Bol, Nitya
Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitya Gaura Hari Bol.
Jaya. So we all pay obeisances to the deities. Jaya Om Vishnu Pada Paramamsa Pravacharya Stosrasta Shri Srimad Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jaya Om Vishnu Pada Paramamsa Pravacharya Stosrasta Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. प्रेम श्री गौर श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन धाम की जय. गजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय. नवद्वीप श्री मायापुर धाम की जय. श्री क्षेत्रम श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय. जगन्नाथ स्वामी की जय. भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय. गंगामयी यमुनामयी की जय. सामवेद भक्त वृंद की जय. हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय. प्रभुपाद ट्रांसडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय. प्रभुपाद ट्रांसडेंटल काउ प्रोटेक्शन यज्ञ की जय. प्रभुपाद ट्रांसडेंटल प्रसादम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय. गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the lotus feet of Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Krishna. Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Praladadaya Dayine.
Praladadayine.
Hiranyakashipurvashaha.
Hiranyakashipurvashaha.
Shilakankanakalaye.
Shilakankanakalaye.
Ito Narsimho Parato Narsimho.
Ito Narsimho Parato Narsimho.
यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहो
यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहो
बाहिर्नरसिंहो हृदये नरसिंहो
बाहिर्नरसिंहो हृदये नरसिंहो
नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे
नरसिंहमतिं शरणं प्रपदे
तव करकमलवरे नागा अद्भुतसिंगा दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गम् केशवतीर्था नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
कमलवरे नका अद्भुतसिंगा दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु धनुभृङ्गा केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
केशवतीर्था नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
केशवतीर्था नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय
नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव
जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज
जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद जय
जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद
जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव
जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव
नित्य गौरा हरि बोल
हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौरा हरि बोल नित्य गौरा
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल
नरसिंह भगवान की
Thank you, Radha Damodar Prabhu, for wonderful Aarti Kirtan.